What is going on, everybody? Welcome to today's episode of Nick Sands Presents, and today is a really big day. And the reason that today is a really big day is because I heard you. I heard your cries of joy and happiness when I went through and I tried out many varieties of frozen mac and cheese. The winner that day was the Stouffer's mac and cheese. Hands down, easy victory. But that got the gears turning in this little noggin of mine. And I thought, what else does Stouffer's have to offer me? And so I went out and I collected a delicious assortment of the finest frozen meats, cheeses, sides, and main courses that I could find. And today we are going to rank them. The winner of the group is going to have to go up against the champ. No doubt that this was the winner of the mac and cheese contest, and so I want to pit the rest of the Stouffer's family up against it, and see what we come away with. We're going to be judging on 3 categories. That's going to be, first of all, presentation. How does it look? Does it make me want to eat it? Is it juicy? Is it I can't think of any other descriptors but juicy. So just whatever one you come up with is fine. Next is going to be mouthfeel. How does it feel inside the pie hole? I'm gonna take a forkful, stick it in there. I'm gonna be judging that and taste at the same time. So it'll be mouthfeel and taste are the next 2. I'll be judging them both at the same time, obviously, because fucking I can't reasonably test the mouthfeel while not testing the taste. It doesn't make any sense. I don't know how else to do it. It's very possible that I'm gonna abandon this part of the way through, and I'm just gonna rank them by how I feel about them. So who knows what's actually gonna happen, but we're gonna find out together. Now, before we get started, it's important to point out that I have a team of highly paid kitchen appliance professionals who, in a sterile environment, followed the directions on the box to the T. These could not be more of exactly how Stouffer's wants these meals to look and taste. And so we are judging these based on the absolute ideal peak conditions. Preparing them at home by yourself after a long day of misery and woe may alter the taste. It may alter your opinions. And so all I can say is to take what I'm saying with a grain of salt. 770 grams of salt. So if you have high blood pressure like I do, maybe avoid it. I think it goes without saying both of these are very unappealing. This meat slab, it's hard to believe that that's all beef or all even meat. Maybe it's, I don't know, 50% sawdust. The potatoes sort of got way too dry and also look just not good. Like, just not good. Maybe some butter could bring those back. I don't know. I'm not sure anything but a necromancer could bring those back at this point. Then you have the turkey over here, and the turkey, I mean, it kind of looks like turkey. Everything is very mushy over here. It looks sad and dull. Actually, these potatoes look wetter, but they are much more cavernous. So I'm not sure exactly what happened. I don't know if that must have been planned by Stouffer's. I don't know. Nothing about these screams to me that I want to eat them. All right, we're gonna start with a roast turkey. So this is tender white meat, turkey and stuffing in a home-style gravy with russet mashed potatoes. I'm not sure, I mean, I guess, I'm not sure that I believe all of that. I'm sure that they tried their best. The stuffing is very spongy, and so is the meat. Get some potato on there. The turkey is not bad. It actually has some good flavor to it. The stuffing is very wet. It almost tastes like you're chewing on a sponge. The potatoes are probably the blandest potatoes I've ever had. Absolutely no taste or flavor. They just add sort of a soupy texture to the whole thing. Definitely doesn't taste as bad as it looks. Meatloaf made with natural has an asterisk next to it. I'm just gonna use my imagination to figure out why it needs an asterisk next to it. Beef and pork in a home-style gravy with russet mashed potatoes. Again, the russets. Seems unnecessary to get so specific on what kind of potatoes that is. It actually doesn't smell bad. It actually smells pretty good. I actually don't hate the taste. The taste is not bad. And I would say the mouthfeel isn't too bad. I would say this is better on mouthfeel and taste. It really actually doesn't taste bad at all. The potatoes, again, are completely tasteless. It kind of feels like maybe I don't know what a russet potato is because that doesn't taste like a potato. It just tastes like mushy air. But the meatloaf portion of it is not bad. It does have a bit of a puck feeling to it. I've had worse meatloaf. I've had worse meatloaf in my life. This one is hands down meatloaf over turkey. This one tasted much better. It actually had flavor to it. This one, the texture of it was awful because it all kind of had the same mushy texture. Whereas the meatloaf, it felt like a sponge, but it also felt like mushy air. And so there was a little bit of variance there. Whereas this all kind of, I feel like you can mix it together and not even notice. I'm gonna give it to meatloaf. And now I'm going to go prepare the next two things, which I don't even remember what they were because the sodium has already started to affect my brain. And now we have the smelliest duo that's been in this basement since the time your mom and her best friend were here. This is the fish fillet versus the Salisbury steak made with 100% beef. So the fish fillet actually looks like food and it smells like fish. It doesn't smell good, but it smells like fish. This Salisbury steak does not look anything like a steak and also smells like a bog. I don't know, cooking this it made like my whole house smells like a swamp right now. It's fucking terrible. The fillet of fish, again, it looks like a frozen fish meal. Am I expecting it to be good? Absolutely not. We got the mac and cheese on both of them, which is why I paired them together. I didn't realize that the smell was also gonna pair. So this was down here while I was cooking this, and I could actually smell this over the fish fillet cooking in the microwave while I was standing next to it. I'm gonna start with this fish fillet, which I think it said it's Alaskan cod. I'm assuming it's probably not pole caught. Very hard to cut. It does appear to be one solid piece of fish. Let's get this off. There. So that's what so it does appear to be one solid piece of fish. The breading is very rubbery, almost as if they dipped it in plastic and then covered the plastic in breadcrumbs. I'm not going to eat this uncovered portion because I prefer it to remain a little bit of a mystery. All right, let's give this a shot. It does not taste good. The coating is very plasticky. It's very like thick and chewy. I don't know. I would assume that they just did a normal batter on it, but for some reason it's like piece of something there. That's not a good sign. It tastes like shitty fish dipped in plastic. The mac and cheese does not taste the same as the original mac and cheese. I'm assuming because it's been sitting next to a frozen fillet of fish in a plastic container for the last probably year and a half. All right, so now onto this. All right, so now onto this Salisbury steak. I don't really know what Salisbury steak is. It looks and feels like meatloaf. Like it doesn't look like an actual piece of steak. It looks like something that was pressed together. It appears to have the same gravy as the meatloaf, but there's onions in it instead of no onions. I mean, it definitely doesn't taste as bad as it smells. Texture is very off. Maybe I just don't know what Salisbury steak is, but this seems like just another less good version of the meatloaf. I would put the mac and cheese slightly above this. But to be fair to this mac and cheese, this has probably been sitting a lot longer than this. I feel like it would be a lot easier to dupe people into buying this, especially with the 100% beef label, than it would be to dupe people into buying this fucking thing. As far as taste goes, they're both fucking way below, way below the other two. I guess I'm gonna give it to the fish because at least the fish delivers what it's offering. You're expecting a shitty piece of fish, whereas this I was expecting like an actual piece of steak and it's just like a hamburger patty. The macaroni and cheese was a little bit more polluted, but it probably was absorbing the power of this fish for the last, you know, year or two. So I feel like we gotta cut it some slack. I think overall, I would be happier eating this as long as I never uncovered it. Although that's true, because this thing uncovered is a fucking, seeing this thing uncovered is fucking gross. I guess as long as you leave this covered, I think I would be happier having eaten this than this. That's what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say fish fillet over the Salisbury steak. And that's probably the first time in my entire life that I've chosen fish over beef. While the next meal is cooking, I thought it was worth pointing out that I actually did go ahead and finish up that meatloaf. I'm hungry and it wasn't that bad. We are here with our final meal. It's actually the meal that sparked the idea for this video, because upon seeing it, I thought, what the fuck? Frankly, this looks like it is from a bukkake movie. It looks like a punishment that is given to prisoners who have already been sent to the hole. Like you stab somebody and then they send you to solitary confinement and you're still eating normal food, and then, you know, you stab the guard to death. You stab him to death, and then they can punish you no more other than death. And so rather than death giving you the sweet relief that comes with a lethal injection, they instead force you to eat this. This is horrifying to behold. It's like it's so disgusting looking that I cannot understand why anybody would eat this. Unfortunately, because I am only following the instructions on the back of the box, and the back of the box does not suggest eating this with bread, which is pictured on the front, I'm to assume that a person who is forcing themselves to eat this is so depressed that they will not be able to force themselves to also toast bread. And so I will be eating this. I brought a spoon down just for this, a spoon that I will throw out when this is finished. So, god damn it. All right, so it looks like steakums in hot semen. Let's give it a try. God damn it. Oh. Yeah, it's fucking foul. It essentially tastes exactly like you would expect steakums in hot semen to taste like. It's fucking disgusting. The sauce is not very flavorful. It's just very warm and salty. And the strips of beef, I'm not eating this again. And the strips of beef, very wet but also tough. It's almost like they tried to rehydrate jerky and failed. So, it's an excellent reminder to me why I could not start an OnlyFans. I got nothing else to say. So, okay, so crazy enough, final rankings. These are going exactly in the order I ate them. So we got the chipped beef. Fucking gross. Don't do it. The Salisbury, the bog steak. Also don't do it. The fillet of fish. I would also suggest not doing it, but if you are so desperate that you need to eat one of these, this is the place I would start. I wouldn't eat this more than maybe like 2-3 meals in a row, because you'll probably do irreparable damage to your body. The roasted turkey, this is where it starts getting not good, but doable, survivable. The classic meatloaf. This one was the only one that I ate that felt like I was really eating food and like something I could eat. Like I might buy this if things got desperate. Lastly, I'm not gonna even open this and waste it. It's an actual food, it's a good meal, and I would, that one is still the top, easy. In fact, I would say Stouffer's, if you're listening, who makes this shit? Nestle. If you're listening to me right now, let me tell you this, okay? These two, just stop producing them, okay? I'm surprised you haven't been sued. This thing, why? Why are we still doing this? It's 2024, no one is eating creamed chipped beef, all right? The bog steak, Again, why? The filet of fish. I probably, if this was my company, I would stop producing this as well, because all this is doing is taking away your ability to make more mac and cheese, and also, you know, you can protect the oceans by not, I'm sure that you capture this fish in the most evil and unethical way you possibly could devise. You probably made it more evil just for fun, because you're Nestle and all you do is evil stuff. So I would get rid of this one too. The roast turkey for people who are lonely on Thanksgiving, and the classic meatloaf for every other day of the year. I'd be fine with that. And the macaroni and cheese, obviously your moneymaker, obviously your breadwinner, obviously the absolute king of the frozen food aisle. So don't ever stop making that. You guys have crushed it with that, and I can't take that away from you. All right, that's it for this week, buddy. Woo! Mwah, mwah, mwah. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Bye.